Hello, fellow YouTubers. Warren again. As my subscribers continue to grow, I will continue to bring content to you guys. You know, I don't know exactly what it's going to be because a lot of time when I hit play or hit record, I'm just coming at random. Sometimes it's stuff based on what I've seen, what I've done that day, what my plans are for tomorrow. For instance, just got out of a department meeting. Let me tell you something. I checked out mentally 10 minutes into the meeting. I don't know what's going on here lately, but I guess with so much work, so much stuff being merged together, every available time I have to myself, I'm going to take it. So I am officially removing myself from any lunch and learns so I can enjoy my lunch hour and reset my brain. I'm officially removing myself from any after hours events because I don't believe in working my ass off and you go to after hours and they sit in there for 2 hours talking about work. You know, when are you people actually, as they say, let your hair down? It's more to it than that. It don't matter. We sit there and talk about building model cars, or we talk about. I don't care. But can you take a break from work when you're actually off work and not talk about work? You know, I'm sure y'all have some kind of something going on in your lives. You know, and for those of you that are pretending to be grown ass men and you're living in your mama's basement, stop flexing. When you go home today, thank your mama that she's allowing you to live in that basement so you can continue to drive that fancy car. That's the biggest flex known to man. Just cut it out. It's time for some real young grown men to stand up. And I'm not saying we don't have any, because I see a few. But those of you that are just out here faking it, and then when you trip, when your mama call you and tell you you need to pay the light bill, what the heck is your problem? Pay your mama light bill. I would gladly, if I had today that I was able to do that, I'd pay my mama light bill 6 months in advance than to pay all these bills. So when you get out there and you start actually living the grown-up life, and then when you come to me complaining about it, all I can say to you is welcome to adulthood and walk away. It's ridiculous how we as mature adults allow this with our grown kids. You know, living in your house, 28, 29, 30 years old. Unless there's some kind of something physically wrong with them, there is no way under the blue skies that you would be living there and you drive around these fancy cars, but you don't want to pay the light bill, or you don't bring groceries in the house. You know, to me, that's just a woman or a family raising a weak man. Yeah, you're weak. I can sit and listen to, I can be in places, I can sit and just listen to some of the things these people are saying. And it's not so much the young men. There are some of us out here, 50, 60 years old, that's hopping from girlfriend to girlfriend because they never learned to establish their own. Don't know how to get out there and be on their own. I actually have personal friends like that. You can't stand on your own 2 feet. Not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Doesn't matter if you're living in a 6-bedroom house, an extended stay, or 1-bedroom shack. Make it your own. Have somewhere to call home. Be able to call your friends and actually invite them over to your spot. Last weekend, buddy I hadn't heard from in a while, called me, wanted to have some beer. So I pick up something. I pick up some whiskey or whatever, come over, have a couple shots. 50 years old, staying with his mama. Well, he says, well, my mom don't really allow liquor in the house, but we can sit out in the car and chill. Bro, man, I can stay in my own house and chill. I'm not driving 25 miles to sit in your driveway and drink with you. I'm not 16. I'm not 19. You know, that's some, I don't know what to call that right there. But I ended that phone conversation because I felt like, why am I still visiting friends that's not allowed to have company. I don't care if it's your mother or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You're a grown ass man. You mean tell me you can't have company during regular daylight hours? But you all wondering why I don't come around no more. That right there is crazy as hell. It's not that we're being disrespectful. We're just two old friends catching up. You can't even do that these days. And if you're in a relationship and it's a dominating relationship such as that, and for you to have always said growing up, you can't wait to grow up so you can have your own. Well, you grew up, but you don't have your own. Come outside and play, as they say. Stop calling me with the same old mess, wondering what I'm up to, where I've been. I've been over here handling my business. Not that I hang in the street all the time, but we grown men. We're supposed to do grown man stuff. We're supposed to visit. We're supposed to hang out maybe once or twice a month, catch up, even go to a sporting event, which that would be the last thing I would want to do, but I would go just to hang out with my buddies. I've called several, want to get together. Let's meet at a bar. Okay. She don't like you going to a bar. Let's go to Chili's. Well, I got something to do. Then my question is, why in the hell you call me? I called you back to see what was up. And you're still in that same small room in the back of the house, mumbling on the phone. As if not only is your curfew, it's your bedtime. I have never seen so many weak-minded men in my life. Now, I'm not saying be disrespectful, go out and leave your wife home all alone on a Friday. You don't show up to Sunday. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to get off work and you have to run straight home. You don't have any time to yourself. And you're sitting there wondering where time went. Yeah, time moving by pretty fast. But at least I have some receipts and I have some things that I can reflect on. And it's not for everybody. It's not even about hanging in the streets. But what type of friendship is that? Me having friends that you're not allowed to visit. They're not allowed to visit you. You can't meet nowhere in public. To me, that's worse than having 5,000 Facebook friends that you don't even know. I don't need any imaginary friends. If we can't pick up a phone and conversate, if we can't actually meet up every blue moon, that's not a friend for me. You can call it, well, that's the way of the world. Everybody's, it's social media. Okay, we got all that. But you're going to allow social media be the reason why you have become a complete shut-in? And all you have is work? You don't have anything else going on? That's why I started thinking about a lot of other things. And that's why here the last probably 10 years, I make friends as I go. I'm sad I'm gonna go somewhere, I can make friends where I am. Yeah, I still have friends. I'm not saying I don't, but it's too many that don't have things in order. What did you do to that woman to where you've been on punishment for the last 12 years? What exactly did you do to that woman? And if it was that severe, she got to keep an eye on you like that, why was she dumb enough to stay? That's my point. People, get out of these relationships. Be happy. Walk out. If you tired of me, walk out. Leave me. I'm gonna cry that night. I will. I'll cry for you one night. But if you're unhappy, walk out. You won't be the first. Probably won't be the last. We've all walked out of situations. But once you go, when you turn that corner, there ain't no coming back. I've had relationships where I've given women several chances. You're lucky to get one now. Because at this point, this age in life, I'm not missing anything. I've had my fun. I ain't missing nothing. The only thing I miss is my pillow around 2 o'clock after I've had a big lunch. But right about now, all this stuff that's going on and this deceitfulness, lies, I made a video about that, and I think it went pretty well. A lot of people don't really want to know the truth. They don't want to listen to stuff like that because it reminds them of themselves. But I'm here to tell you, some of these videos you need to pay attention to, so it can remind you of yourself. Get from under that rock. I think the term is cuckold. Nothing wrong with being a cuck, but with reason. If you're just sitting there, personal friend, all of his wife's friends are his friends. Whenever they go somewhere, he's constantly telling me where they're going. It's things based on her friends. He was just in town this past weekend for her friend 50th birthday party. Do you think he had time to meet? You think this time around I even asked him if he wanted to meet up for a drink? I did make mention of, I think you two should probably make some time to meet up Saturday. I'll see what she says. Now, how in the world you've flown thousands of miles and you're not even allowed to have friends, but you got to sit there all weekend, and he checked in telling me how bored he was. He wish he can come hang out. He wish he had a car. You know what, dude? Not in 2025, not even 2020. There's Uber, there's Lyft. There's a such thing as mutual respect. Hey, baby, I'm going to meet up with my partner. I'll be back. And I teased him about that. I said, I don't know why every time I see you and you're walking your dog, the dog is the one with the leash on. I think she bought that for you. You need to check that. He gets mad at me, but I like to talk, as they say. I like to shoot the dozens with him because he's in a bad way. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, he's like that because he chose to be. Yeah, he did. But stop bothering me with, well, next time I'm in town, we're going to do. Man, do not waste my time with your fantasies of being able to have real friends. That's all it is for him. It's a fantasy in his head. I entertain him. We talk. We text. We cool at that. But where I draw the line is, no, don't offer anything that you know that's impossible. How you been with this woman for, I don't know, 15 years? You've known me for 11? I've never even met her. I tease him all the time because with him being white, I ask him, is he even allowed to have black friends? I asked him. I teased him. I even got a running joke with him that he's the only white friend I have. Am I your only black friend? Can you answer that? I know plenty of people. That's his answer. So that tells you right there. How could you not be allowed to have friends in this day and age of different races, backgrounds, things of that nature? Because in some people's mind, the minute you mention another race to somebody, they instantly make up in their mind that you're going to be the worst of the worst. They instantly make that up. And that's why I choose not to be around a lot of people. It ain't about the race. It's about the ignorance. I had to take care of some business, I'll say. And that was this one particular individual that created some issues some 15, 20 years ago. So, in order for that remedy to be taken care of, I was removed from those particular areas, trying to clean this up until recently. And I had to go meet up with this group, and that individual was there. Sure, he's older now. I'm older now. I avoided his ass like the plague. After about 2 hours, he finally made his way over there to introduce himself. He put his hand out, shake my hand. I didn't shake it. I said, oh, I remember you quite well. I remember you from 15, 20 years ago. He asked me how long have I been affiliated. I told him about 20 plus years, 24 to be exact. I was removed from this area and I walked off because he was one of those kind. And up until this point, I've been hesitant to be put back in these areas that they removed me out of because of all the racial tension back in the day. And then they act like they forget. You know, he can't forget because he was present. He was there when I went way left on a couple of his contractors and him, to the point to where they had to call my place of employment to report me. And before I got back, it was already determined that I went down there and started some shit. That's crazy. And with today's society, you know, certain people and certain groups have a certain kind of way to still allow that kind of stuff to go on and make excuses for it. You know, telling me I shouldn't have said certain things to a certain person. Well, let me explain something to y'all. When y'all start messing with people, namely black men, namely older black men that has been exposed to certain things, then you don't just because you think you've gotten over it, it's not a magic pill we take to forget. You know, it's not a magic pill. And I'm not against anybody. I'm just saying I can quickly remove myself from a situation. But some of the things that I've been witness to, and some of the things came my way personally, let me just say, it's certain individuals, they lucky it was during office hours. Because had that been away from here and doing, sometimes it's just some knucklehead decide to walk up me and say some of the same things. Yeah. And this goes back to what I was saying along the lines of co-workers aren't your friends. Especially when I can look, I can be out minding my own business, and I can look at a group, and I can go to a seminar, and I can look at Jimmy John's corporate offices incorporated, blah, blah, blah. And there's always that one. Always that one. They bring him into the fold. He's their favorite. And he's doing his damnedest to try to kiss up. That right there is so damn ridiculous. Man, be yourself. You only, as they say, when you in that circle, you just a friend with benefits because they seen your little happy tail out there on recon mission. So you can run back and tell them what the rest of them are doing. Don't be that one. You know, and for those younger ones that don't really know how things were and still is, if you do have grandparents around or even the uncles, sit down and listen to them. Sit down and have a conversation with them. And the reason why I say that was a skit going on. I think it was involving one of the presidential debates or something. And there was this guy doing a little test. He was interviewing the young people. By young, they probably was like 25, 30. And he was asking them, were they disappointed that Dr. King wasn't there? Dr. Martin Luther King. And these folks was like, yeah, he should have been there. He got the audacity not to show up. These idiots did not even know who Dr. King was. And you're 25, 30 years old. You can find it on YouTube. Figure out how to type it in. The algorithms, they'll match up. And I laughed about that because I'm sitting here looking at these people, the youth, and it wasn't just generated towards black or white. It was a mixture of people. But a majority of the black ones, you would think they would know or know better. And the reason why a lot of them don't know things at 25, young black Americans, because they took black history out of school a long time ago to try to erase our history. They kept American history, then they just started calling it history, and it went away. People, you have young kids, let them read some of these old novels. Let them read some things on Dr. King. Sit them down and watch some old black cinema so they can ask you, who is this? What did that person do? They'll learn something. But to have somebody 25 to 30 years old more than once on a YouTube channel that did not know who Dr. King was, that's sad. What school did you go to? How far away were you removed to where they never during your school life talked about Dr. King, Malcolm X, Coretta Scott King, Andy Young? What school? I don't understand it. I don't get it. What rock did they hold you under for all of your school term, from elementary school to middle school to high school, to where you don't know who these individuals are? You don't have to give them a play-by-play of their life, but you at least ought to be able to identify who they were. And I think that's sad. Frederick Douglass, they don't know. Booker T. Washington. You don't have to know everything, but you should be able to at least identify with them. And if you're out there and you're new to my channel and you are a black male or black female or of African descent or African American, whatever you want to be labeled, if you don't know if some of these people I just randomly said, Google it. And don't say, well, I don't have Google, I got an iPhone. Same difference. Red apple, green apple, okay? Google some of this stuff. With technology being the way it is, you can program it in your phone, program it in your radio. They have the History Channel. Check it out. Go beyond the history of rap. There you go. Go beyond the history of rap. I have nothing against rap music, but go beyond that and find out about your heritage. Find out some of the people that you even went to high school with, their connection to some of the greatest people of African American descent, the greatest black people. Find out your connection even through high school. You probably sat right next to a relative of some of these people and didn't even know it. But you should know it. Your parents know of them. And how could your parents not tell you who's these people are? You know everything else. You know their gaming system inside and out. You know the recipe to the other's form of success. But you don't even know the recipe to your history that got success for us. I think that's dumb. Y'all better stop following people around like that. They're gonna lead you down the wrong hole. They're gonna lead you down the wrong hole. And then when they leave and they cross over, they're gone for 20, 30 years. They want to try to come back and everybody's supposed to openly embrace them. Yeah, I'm not gonna be mean towards nobody. I'm just saying, hey man, where you been? Then they tell you. They'll find out eventually the hard way. I wasn't raised and brought up to be racist at all. But I know when to stay away from idiots and assholes. I know better. Because I know how the outcome could be. So it's best to just stay away. It's best to just remain calm as possible. Sometimes I be at work, I be so calm, I'm about to go to sleep. Because I'm just keeping a low profile. I'm just trying to ride it out. And sometimes when you put yourself in that position to where you have a very calm way of life, hardly anything's gonna bother you until you get that one. I silently gave that guy a pass 3 times. He tried me again. Yeah, he was afraid. He was very afraid. And I'm not a bully. But, you don't go around trying people and trying to sneak the little racist undertones in. And then only thing they can use as an excuse is, well, you got to understand they're young. No, he's old enough to get his ass whooped over some stuff like that. So, people still make excuses so the other person will come out ahead. And this is why I say, those people at your job, they ain't your friends. I ain't saying go in there and be mad at the world, be angry at these co-workers. They're just co-workers. And I've always been like this. I can sit in a room full of people, and if I just lose interest, I can focus off onto something else. I can find a spot on the wall, and that spot has become my best friend for the next 30, 40 minutes. Because I'm not trying to hear all that mess. You know, I'm just diluting myself from all that bull. I'm y'all trying to say I'm perfect now. I'm not trying to say I'm better than somebody, but I'm in a better situation for myself. And a lot of us need to do that. And once again, this is not a racist video. This is not a video based on division. We're all divided enough. And my voice is not strong enough to divide nobody from anything right now. You have to make your own decision. I would say never forget where you come from, but some of you don't know where you came from. That's the sick part about it. Your skin just as dark and pure as mine. You don't even know where you come from. You don't know that you don't know. That's what's sad. You don't know that you don't know. And I think you need to find out. And if you can't get the answers when you go home, and before you go downstairs to your mama's basement where you live, and you get your milk out of the refrigerator with your name on it, sit down and say, Mom, you know, what's going on? Where did I really come from? Tell me what was going on before I was born. Give me the truth. And if they can't tell it to you because they're afraid it's going to hurt you, pull it up on your phone. Go old school. Go to the library. They still have books in there. Certain libraries do. If you don't want to do it on your phone. You know, yes, there are people that still go to the public library. I'm not one of them, but I know what it is. But there's a wealth of knowledge out there. There's valuable information out there that you're not getting because of this. Now look at me. My lunch hour is over. Not saying it's because I'm being smart. I'm sitting out here in my truck like I run the place. I probably should get back in there before they come looking for me. I'm just feeling that way. Felt like most of my morning this morning, including my break hour, was taken up. I can't keep reminding people that that's my time. You know, like, if you're gonna give me this time, do not impose on it. No, come back later. I don't have to say it but one time. Please come back later. And I try to be polite. I try to say it once or twice. I'm just gonna go back to put my headphones back on and turn away. Because I don't see myself giving 150% every day. And then at the end of the day, it's still not enough. It's still not enough. So with that being said, this is just a message just going out there to whoever wants to hear it. And once again, this is not a message. I'm not sitting up here spewing racism, anything like that. All I'm saying is, if you don't know, ask around. Ask your parents, ask your auntie, ask your granddaddy if they're still around. You know, find out, talk to your elders. See what's going on. So anyway, let me get back in here and see what kind of trouble I can get into. I will talk to you all really soon. Take care.